You're looking to create that loving relationship with someone special in your life. Maybe you've got a specific person in mind, maybe you don't, but you're looking for whoever is going to approach you again to conform, to treat you in the way that you would like to be treated, to reflect all the things that you would dream that they would say to you, and to prioritize you, make you feel important, make you feel magnetic, make you feel safe and secure in this relationship. This is what we all want, whether we want it with a specific person or whether we're going further and looking out for love with that perfect person. But either way, how do we achieve this with the least resistance? Particularly those of you who have a specific person in mind, you're going to find that you've got probably a hell of a lot of resistances based on your past experiences with them, what you already know about them, the fact that you might have had a really painful breakup, the fact that you might have had a really turbulent past with them as well. So how do we do this to achieve the results that we really wish to achieve? I'm going to discuss it more in this video. First up, I just want to thank you all for joining me. I'm Athena Raven. I'm a mental health and manifestation life coach here to empower and inspire you all. So please do like and subscribe to the content just to boost this algorithm, get this channel out there to a wider audience so we can help share the news and the experiences and help other people who are going through the same. And I love and appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you, as always, for your continuous support. I love our little online family and community, and it really means the world to me. So thank you. So I know for now we are going through this festive season, this holiday period, which can be, let's face it, very filled with anxiety, the stress. And if you're going through a period of heartbreak, you know, love is something that we're all seeking for. And we all want to have a loving, committed relationship with the person of our dreams. The problem is that we get so tethered to our 3D reality and our current circumstances and our past, how we already view that person, the way that we have formed them, the opinions that we have formed based on our experiences with them. This perception that we have that just keeps this whole cycle stuck. And we're all looking and searching for the 3D reality to give us some sort of confirmation and validation that this is working, that they are conforming, that they are capable of turning up into that prince or princess that we always dreamed of is going to sweep us off our feet. And we keep ourselves stuck because we're all the time too, as I always say, we're too attached to the things that are going on in our reality. But you know by now, especially if you follow my content for a while, you know that manifestation is about transcending logic, letting go of your rational thinking, and letting go of what the current circumstances are showing you, right? Because our assumptions is what created this outcome in the first place. And it's an outcome that we did not wish to experience, or it's an outcome of being single and alone and lacking in love and feeling desperate and needy. This is an experience that we're having, but it's not set in stone. You are not stuck in this position forever. It is only your belief that you are stuck, your belief that it is not working, your belief that they cannot conform or are not conforming, that is keeping this cycle going. And that's why this discipline of mind that comes into the manifestation process, plus the persistence in the faith of who you are as the operant power, the faith that everything is working out for you, even if it doesn't seem to be. Remember, seem to be doesn't mean that it isn't. And I know this because I'm talking from enough experience to know that even I've had horrible things happen on my bridge of incidents. Well, what I would deem as horrible, but it wasn't. It was perfect. That's what we have to remember, that it's always perfect. We cannot understand how or why this could possibly be perfect, perhaps at the time that we're going through it. But from a state of lack, from a state of this isn't working, they're not conforming, I can't have this, I've been treated poorly, I was not prioritized, I'm not loved and chosen. From that state, of course, I'm going to deem a lot of these circumstances as negative and working against me. So the first thing you want to do is realize that everything that you're looking for in the outside world, whatever feeling you are trying to capture, because it is the feelings that we've attached to this specific person or around love or around relationship. It's the feelings that we have attached to this that is what is driving us forward. That's why I focus a lot of my content on specific people. And I feel because of my mental health background, I can nurture, I can help clients of mine get through that difficult process of grieving and heartbreak, because it is important to validate your current situation, to accept your current situation, not as final, not as this is it and this is my life going forward and I'm doomed this way, not in that way, but accepting that this is part of the bridge to something bigger, and accepting that my circumstances can always change because they always do, and accepting that this is not set in stone. I don't accept this as my final answer. I go further. I transcend what 3D is showing me. I transcend logic, and I go within myself and I ask myself, what is it that I'm looking for? My feelings around this are so strong that it's been the driving force for me seeking out manifestation, doing all these techniques. A lot of you are doing affirmations all day and subliminal sleep tapes and techniques all day long until you're blue in the face, where we're losing track of what we're doing here and why we're doing it. So we establish with clarity what it is that we want to experience and what we want to feel. And I want this specific person because they made me feel a certain way. That feeling of loved, chosen. Perhaps it wasn't perfect at the time if it's someone specific. And perhaps those of you who are going further just to find that perfect partner, you're going to have a lot least resistance in comparison to someone who has a specific person, because you're not going to have the baggage of history and various other limitations. You can start off with more of a clean slate in a way, but then again we will still have baggages based from our childhood, and we'll still have the baggages of 3D limitations where you were probably told that perfect person doesn't exist, and you're going to do what we all do, which is I'm going to settle. They ticked 2 or 3 things off my internal checklist, and so I'll just settle with this and overlook all the rest of the red flags. But you can have whatever you desire. You have the desire because the possibility to realize it already exists, right? Your higher self has experienced this, or can experience it, albeit in imagination, albeit through subjecting yourself to the feelings. And so anything that I want from the outside world, this outside world is dead, is old, and people are merely my messengers. They made me feel a certain way, or love makes me feel a certain way. Chosen, prioritized, safe, secure. Let me give myself those feelings now. Let me start general first. Let me just experience what it would feel like to feel attractive, to feel safe and secure, to feel wanted and needed and prioritized and cherished. What would that feel like? Ask yourself. There would be evidence. And a lot of my clients don't realize this at the time. That's why I think the psychological approach that I use as well helps them, because yes, the ego mind wants evidence. And yes, we have to accept that manifestation, the whole point of it is that we transcend evidence and we transcend our ego mind. But it does help if you can extract evidence from the past just to put your ego mind to rest. I have been chosen in the past, and I have been loved in the past and cherished. And I can capture that feeling, and I can elaborate on it and exaggerate on it and immerse myself in it more and more. I want to feel magnetic, attractive, and chosen from now. I don't need someone else to give me that validation to make me feel that way. You gave yourself the feelings and attached it to that specific person. They didn't give it to you. It feels that way, but you essentially allowed yourself to feel these feelings, to have this experience, and then you attached it around this person. This is why a lot of us on the specific person manifestation journey, and again, I know from experience, we do get needy, desperate, clingy, stay and lag longer because of that. It's about them. They were the only ones who could make us feel a certain way. It's not the case, but it's our beliefs that do keep us stuck, that do keep us so limited. So don't be afraid to just go general with it first and establish what that feels like. Wear that often, subjecting yourself to it often, extracting evidence from the past that proves to yourself, you know, I was made to feel important in the past, either through relationships or through work or other situations. I was made to feel attractive in the past. I was made to feel chosen, and all of these things. Let me take myself there again and remind myself of that feeling. Let me elaborate on it and exaggerate on it and incorporate it in some sort of scene, a visual imaginal act, or an inner talking imaginal act, or whichever way that you prefer. Maybe you're scripting it out and imagining it afterwards. However you prefer to do it, whatever sits with you and gives you that experience. That's what you're trying to do in this whole thing, is give yourself the experience now, and wear that experience often enough that you can believe it. And what you will find is that your world does start to conform, and other people are going to come forward, perhaps exes of yours that were not your specific person, perhaps friends or family or colleagues, starting to come in and reflecting this new concept, this new internal experience that you've had, complimenting you or treating you a certain way that reflects this new concept of self that you are developing. And then you can then apply, how about my SP? See my specific person, if I have one, or if I don't, my perfect person. Present them to myself in this scene, through inner talking, through visuals, through just feeling it out, whatever, and experience that, and experience those feelings again in relation to this specific person. Make that attachment, make that connection, and see that start to work for you. You might find that you have least resistance if you go general first than if you jump in with the specific person, particularly if you haven't processed all the heartbreak and the pain that you suffered with them prior, or the history. So give this a try and see how you get on with this. I know it's something that I have attempted a few times before, where I've had a lot of resistance, where some of my SP manifestations, my exes, for example, it took a bit of time for me to shift state to accept my desire, because there was a lot of heartbreak and baggage, and really a lot of it, I just wanted to focus on feeling good, feeling healed, feeling attractive and magnetic, feeling all of these things before I could fully accept as well. And it made it much easier for me to accept it, especially when other people were complimenting me and conforming around me, that if they can do it, so will my SP, and they will see my worth and value, because now I see my worth and value, and I've given myself that feeling. And of course, as we know, as within, so then is projected without. And so if they're my messenger, your specific person is your messenger, no different to anyone else, they will also confirm this and reflect this back. So give this a shot, or if you have already given a shot, let me know how you got on. Let me know how, if it managed to help you drop a lot of the resistance. It certainly will help you to feel good, to feel better about yourself. What better way to empower yourself than to give the feelings to yourself first? Anything you want to feel from your SP, give it to yourself first. That's what you did in the first place. You give it to yourself first, and then it is reflected out. Don't get stuck in this negative loop where you're constantly waiting for them to validate you. That's putting a condition in the way of it that it's never going to work in your favor. They're not going to come in and conform if within you're occupying lack and low self-esteem, and seeing them in a negative light, and seeing your relationship with them in a negative light, or seeing all relationships in a way that is detrimental and not working in your favor. I really hope that this was clear and helps you out, and I'm sending you tons of love, and I'll see you in the next video. All the best.